I love it when you feel like getting nasty.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be walking through with you my latest edit, which is by the Freestylers called Push Up. If you haven't heard it, I will be tracking the link to the full track down in the description below. You would have heard a preview in the intro music there. But essentially, let's dive into the track. Let's show you the elements. Let's show you the core of how it's made. It's a pretty simple track, but the idea is to beef up the original kind of energy. I'll tell you how I took the parts from the original and how I've manipulated it to make it sound a little bit more rounded and professional. So, if we have a look at the project, I've organized it into a few different things. Let's go straight into the original and find out what I have taken. So, I had the original track here just literally for reference, so I could look at it and listen and find out what best elements were in the track. I've got the acapella here, which kindly they gave away on their SoundCloud, so I'll link the acapella down below as well for those looking for that. They've linked it, given it away for free, professional studio quality. It's amazing. So here that is. All I've done to that is simple ping pong delay, EQ, reverb, side chaining, and then this is like washout stuff and limiting on there. This one's not on, so we can delete that. And then just some limiting to make sure that there's no peaks on the top of the vocal. So reverse vocal as well, that's just reverse leading into some of the sections. This is an acapella build part, which is the nasty part in the last part of the section, so we'll listen to just that. Yeah, I need my headphones on so I can hear this. Actually, I'm going to play it through the speakers.
I love it when you feel like getting nasty.
So that's it. That's how it kind of is built up, and all that is just looping over the same section. You can see it's not even very well done. If I go into the fades is straight. Probably would have even done that to make it sound a little bit better and cleaner. But that's, you know, we all go back in and do things later. The other part I had was the hook line. Most of you will remember this hook line. Now, this one, I literally took the chop here from the original tune. It's like the tiniest little blip that happened to be on its own in the whole tune, and then I've just retuned it using the transpose function down here to give us the hook, and then split it left and right and slightly different on the delay, so it sounds nice and wide. On the processing of each one, EQ, compression, ping pong delay, and reverb, and then sidechain compression. So let's listen to what that is. So you get the idea. That's the cool part, the that everybody remembers. And then let's go into the other part, other key ingredients. This is the chord, I believe. Yeah, and the part of the vocal that's really important, that woo. So that's crucial. So if we listen to that, whoops. Ah, that should be going to the group. Whoops. And so should that. Whoops. Oh, we haven't even, okay, we haven't introduced them to you, but I may as well show them to you now. These are the other bits that I took from the track. So I was able to pull those, I think, from the very end of the track. If we have a look. Oh, yeah, right in this middle break section. Breaks out, and then I can take those, layer the EQ, cut out the important parts, bit of reverb and sidechain and filtering and stuff. And that then gives us that whole, the core ingredients.
Just like a dream.
So you can hear that reverse vocal in there as well. It's so important. Listen to this. Like, listen to the vocal.
Just like a drug you rock with.
So it just leads into that second section so well, and that's important because that's the driving part of the drums. So those are the groove elements and everything for the original. If we take back another look, kick, very simple, very simple. I have done a tiny bit in OTT. Well, I say a tiny bit, it's actually quite a lot. And then some EQing and limiting. I don't know, it just made it real thumpy. I just played around with it and mixed it. I don't usually do that. Usually I'll find another kick, but anyway. Well, I kind of do it, but not all the time. Build snare. Fairly stock standard, but it really builds through that section.
Your body.
Oh, I've screwed all the MIDI up now. I don't know if anybody else's does that. It doesn't on Ableton 10, I know that, but this riser and yeah. Okay, we listen.
Your body next to me.
Slowly comes in. We're using utility, gain, modulation, and then here on the washout starts to come up on the snare.
I love it when you feel like getting nasty.
Anyway, that's that. And then percussion's pretty crucial here. So the idea was to try and bring the percussion and kick together at the same time. Needs to groove. You need to be able to groove to it straight away. So there's a clap, which is the main clap. Nice, short, snappy, bit of a pre-clap on it as well, I think, just before the beat. Yeah, look. So, happy days. Tambourine. This is a nice little loop that grooves super well. Nice hat. Cowbell. Just adds that extra drive element. Always everybody loves a bit of cowbell. Crash. Just for extra oomph on the drops. And then these hats as well. They just help to drive it along, so that gives us the cool. So that's our main groove, and if we build up with the original. Now, pretty much all that's left is the iconic bass line. Now, that was so simple to do. I found a really nice bass from a Steve Aoki patch. Fiddled around with a few of the knobs and some of the effects in there, and then ended up with a bit of, compression, tube warmth on the Camel Crusher, just a preset there. I may have dialed back the volume slightly and the distortion, not sure. Maxxbass, I've been through this plugin before. If you haven't seen it, go check out the link. I might chuck it up in the corner. EQ compression with both, sidechain compression with both the actual sidechain layer and the kick. And then I've got it hooked up to track spacer as well. So now that track spacer is helping too. If we go to the leads, I believe. I'm not sure what's going into it. We'll be able to hear. Yeah, so I think I'm just doing the original into that. But this is the bass line. Iconic. With the kick, needs to sit nicely. So now we have the leads. So let's have a listen to some of what I added in. A couple of things just to add more atmosphere, to add more kind of groove. So that's, yeah, that's in here as well. We listen to this. You probably couldn't hear that before, but now you can. It's interesting to know. This one, I call it the Sparks lead because it sounds like real sparks. But it's just another one to just add on the groove. That was it. Gone. Tiny. But adds to the groove. Then we've got, oh, this is the ARP. So I made this. So I made that with a whole lot of automation. So the idea was to bring it down from free rate arpeggiation, if that's how you say it, down to being in the groove. So it's like basically whatever I wanted it to do, and then in the groove, as you heard, and then build back up to the top. Now that's all automated in here. You can see the rate coming down. And that sticks at consistent rhythm. And then here, we're slowly speeding back up again. And we're also doing a pitch automation, obviously. And then over here, gain, utility, automation, and the big one as well, panning. So this is Pancake if you haven't seen Pancake before. It sends things left and right, and I'm automating the mix here. To show you how much panning is going on. So I would sometimes then bounce that and probably, you know, use that as a sample in something, but I just wanted to create that from scratch. It was really cool. These chords probably should be in that group too. They're just extra jazz chords to really kind of build the tension.
Your body next to mine. Gotta make that sexy booty and shake it. That ass. I love it when you feel like it.
That last chord is real tense. So if you listen to it, like it's not right for where it's supposed to be, but it resolves itself into the last part, and then again resolves itself into the drop. That's what's the idea of resolution in like suspended chords, or can't remember, my music theory is not that good, but listen to how it resolves itself. And then builds again. And then that's when it like resolves back into the drop. So that's the idea of those strange build chords that are underneath the whole lot of it. The plucks, building up, drone, this is simple. just adds to it. Atmosphere. That's pretty much that in the leads and everything else. The only thing left is just the horrifically massive saw that drops. That is just a Superstar serum patch, tuned bit, tube warmth. That's not even there, so ignore that. This is my Reverb delay chain. I've given that away for free as well. You should have been all over that. EQ side chain. That's it. And then let's listen to this build up. See if you can hear all the individual parts that we just went through again.
Your body next to mine. I gotta make that sexy booty mine. And shake it, baby, shake that ass. I love it when you feel like getting nasty. I love it when you feel like getting nasty.
You get the idea. Cool. So a couple of other things, obviously effects, white noise and things like that, pretty stock standard. The other things that you can do is on the master. So I won't show you the necessarily master elements, but what's interesting is over here. So the utility, here, yes, this one. So the utility plugin over here is doing a gain automation, so it's coming down gradually over the build section by 1.27 dB. I only need to do it slightly in this one. Sometimes I might even do 2 to 3 dB, just so that when the drop hits, there's an increase of volume and it sounds bigger. The other thing is in the frequency. So the frequency comes up. If it sweeps up and pulls out the low frequencies as the drop builds and then releases them back into the drop, then you've got yourself a really effective like scoop, and then here you go. Take it away, give it back. As you can see, slides back up to about 119, 120 hertz, and then back to 0 for the drop. Washout tool, so this is bass class easy washout tool, up to 20, and then back down again to 0 for the drop. That's just widening things, bit of reverb, bit of delay, like it's as if you're turning the knobs on a DJ thing.
Your body next to mine.
So essentially that's it. The MIDI's playing around there and doing some strange things. It's done that to me before. But that's the track, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't heard the whole thing, please go and check it out. It's a free download, linked below, everywhere, all over SoundCloud and stuff. So go grab it, use it in your sets after the quarantine and all that business is over. But thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.
I love it when you feel like getting nasty.